Jesus, Lars, just because you can doesn't mean you have to. Well, however. Hi, this is Gregor from BassTheWorld.com, and this is our second video about the Glockenklang Steamhammer, a fabulous new Class D amp from Glockenklang out of Germany. In the first video I talked a lot about specifications, all the details, everything, all the general info you might want to know about this amp, and if you haven't seen this already, maybe stop this video here for a moment, watch the other one and then come back. And in this video right here we will show you a lot of different sound samples using different settings, different basses, and we're focusing a lot on the drive section because I think that's what makes this amp mainly interesting and different from the other amps. I talked about this in the first video, so let's not go into details. However, let's start with the drive section. Overdrive alone can be a little bit too direct, a little bit too in your face, and with overdrives it's always nice to have an amp sound with an actual cabinet that adds some compression, some room sound, so it makes everything work together. Here in the setting where we're using of course a DI out and a microphone at the same time and mix it together, but even this can be a little bit too direct at some points, and you might want to add some filter of some sorts, and this is why Glockenklang has added this voice filter, and this is a control that allows you to dial in. It's not really a simulation, it's an analog filter what they're using there, but it kind of simulates in a way different tube amp kind of sounds, and some are useful, some not so much, and as you can hear in the second setting where we use much more gain, it's much more audible, so you can hear it much better in this setting. Now let's check out the EQ section. Now let's combine all these features. We start with a typical clean Glockenklang sound, and then we add section by section to achieve a mid-heavy, dirty rock sound. And now let's do the same thing again with a P-bass. And just one more with a boutique bass that's that we often use for solo bass stuff, for tapping examples here in these videos. And I think this is not the best example how to use the overdrive, but I think it's interesting to hear, because as soon as I kick the overdrive in while Lars is playing, the whole recording sounds much more like an amp, and I think that's an interesting thing, because it doesn't really sound like a Glockenklang anymore, and that's one of the key features that you can achieve with these filters and the overdrive, making a Glockenklang less Glockenklang. Well, that's it. I hope you got a good impression of what the Glockenklang Steamhammer is capable of. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below. I will get to you as fast as I can. And of course, we showed you a lot of overdrive examples. I think we all know, or hopefully you know, that Glockenklang is a clean amp, super clean amps. I can't mention it often enough. So clean amps are boring to show, because you could just plug the bass into the interface, a little bit of room later, and just pretend that this is what the Glockenklang sounds like. No one would be able to tell it apart. So we used much more the things that go out of the typical Glockenklang range to show in this video. I hope you appreciate it. However, that's it for today. See you next time, and have a wonderful weekend, whenever you're watching this. See you next time. Bye.